I wasn't really aware of what depression was, or like what anxiety was, or like what those things meant for my life.
This is Rayma, a sophomore at Boston University.
Freshman year, coming into college, I was, loosely diagnosed with some depression with some undertones of anxiety, and it was something that I was told was like very transitional. Like I knew that they were words that existed, and it was something that people had, but like I didn't connect it with the symptoms that I was feeling. I get tired. My body aches. I get angry at people very, very quickly. I pick fights with everyone.
All these quarters, literally $3 million.
Rayma isn't alone. 1 out of 4 college students suffer from a mental illness, with depression and anxiety being the most prevalent, but 75% of them will not seek help.
Mental health is just not something that students are familiar with, that concept.
But untreated mental illness often leads to suicide, the third leading cause of death in college students, which has been a recent problem for MIT. Over the past 5 years, the college has reached a new high with 12.5 suicides per 100,000 students, 3 within this school year alone. Yet there is still a stigma around mental illness.
Not only is it something that's like stifled and like not talked about, it's something that people don't address as a problem. And it's something that's not publicized. It's not something that students know about. It's not something that goes in BU Today or in the Free Press, because it's something that the administration quiets down very, very quickly, because it's bad for the university to have those kind of incidents. I think there's this sort of perception that there is no problem because everybody has the same problem almost. And I think that one student who feels like they have overwhelming depression or any form of depression and they don't have any help to deal with it, that's just too many.
Having any kind of like stress or a mental illness or any kind of mental health problem is so shamed that I don't think people realize that it's something that they can talk about. A lot of people see it as this not real issue, like something that, oh, people are just being overdramatic, they're just looking for attention, they're just unable to deal with things, and that's their own problem.
In recent years, programs like To Write Love on Her Arms and the National Alliance on Mental Illness have teamed up with celebrities to use their platform to promote awareness and share stories.
I don't think that I was ever trying to kill myself, but I knew that if I had ever gone too far, that I wouldn't care.
Real is so sad, she's so depressed. And through our daily conversations, what I've learned about depression is that it's hard to know the answers when you don't know the questions. Cause you don't understand why she feels the way she does.
It's always going to take courage for people dealing with mental illness to seek treatment. But it shouldn't take that much courage as it does today. It just shouldn't. It's less about the people who are dealing with the illness, and it's more about the people who aren't.
Celebrities have created a large amount of awareness for mental illness, leading schools like Boston University to create more resources on campus for students besides a crisis hotline and therapy, in hopes to raise that 25% of students who seek professional help. Eve is the executive director for Active Minds at Boston University, a national student-run organization that aims to destigmatize mental illness by promoting mental health awareness and inform students about resources on campus.
The awareness of it kind of can bring about like more conversations about it that can help people connect to better resources, that can, help people feel less shame. Maybe people will get help earlier. Our meetings have like a different mental health topic. Sometimes it'll be like a specific disorder that we try to educate everyone about. Sometimes it'll be like healthy relationships, because there's so much stuff that ties into mental health, like healthy relationships or stress, sleep.
One resource Active Minds refers their members to is Student Health Services.
Every full-time student at BU has full access to student health services, no fees.
I sat down with Dr. Ross, formerly known as the Director of Behavioral Medicine at Student Health Services. Dr. Ross is now the Medical Director at the Center for Anxiety and Related Disorders, another resource for students on campus.
It's a very low barrier experience. We try to get students in as quickly as possible. Making that call is the scariest thing because you're sort of acknowledging, I must really have a problem if I have to go to talk to somebody. A student would just make a call and the person answering, the receptionist, would say, do you need to be seen right away? Do you feel like you need to come in right away? We have somebody who can speak with you, a clinician who can speak with you today to find out how urgent the need is.
I've started a conversation with my doctor about looking into starting a medication for my depression and anxiety, and that's something that I'm very interested in. Really only so much of your energy should be spent on coping with your depression and anxiety. It's like if you have a cold, you're going to try and take care of it as much as possible. You're going to have some chicken soup, but if it gets really bad, you're going to take some, whatever medication, like you're going to take some Tylenol or something. And I think of it in a similar way. You do what you can to keep yourself healthy, but once you've sort of maxed that out, you get on medication, and I feel really good about that.
Even if we think, medication really might be helpful, if the student says no meds, then it's no meds. I mean, it's absolutely up to the student, and it's our job to recommend, to tell them what we can figure out and what is available.
Dr. Ross says there are 5 things that combat depression in college students: getting enough sleep, eating healthy, being active, socializing, and putting things into perspective to remind yourself there's a world bigger than you.
If people are open about their own stories, I think that helps other people realize that they can be open about their stories, and helps everybody realize that it's a big issue, but it's not a big, scary problem. It's something that there are solutions for.
80% of students who seek treatment show an improvement of symptoms between 4 to 6 weeks, but will battle with their illness for life. For BUTV, I'm Keiko Talley.